If you're moving to naval-based Kitsap, it can feel like you're choosing between homes. You're actually not. You're choosing what your daily life is going to feel like. And this is where a lot of families get it wrong because on paper or on Zillow, these areas can look really similar. We've lived these moves and we've helped a lot of families through them. And this is one of the biggest decision points that we see. Because finding the house was never the problem, the commute is. Today I'm going to show you exactly how the geography of the bases work together with the rest of the county and how that commute affects you so that you don't get caught on the wrong side of the commute. When families first get orders here, the housing search usually starts with the house itself. People are looking at new construction, nice kitchens, views, countertops, all the things that show up in listing photos. But what ends up shaping their daily life is the commute. Because depending on where you live in Kitsap, your drive can be from Bangor to Bremerton or Keyport, and it can feel really different. And sometimes the difference is only a few miles on the map, but it can change your routine every single day. I'll show you how this plays out with two almost identical homes in just a moment. Because two homes with the same price can create completely different days for the same family. Kitsap County sits across the water from Seattle, and most of the Navy activity here centers around naval-based Kitsap, Bangor, Bremerton, or Keyport. Locally, people usually divide the county into three main areas: South Kitsap, which is mainly Port Orchard; Central Kitsap, which is Bremerton, Seaback, Silverdale; and North Kitsap, which is Paulsbo and Kingston. Each of these areas has its own personality, housing styles, and neighborhoods. And this one area right here is what ends up changing everything. So here's this spot called Gorst. Most people have never heard of it. It's not really a town. It's not really, well, it's an area, but it's a junction. It's a hairpin turn where the main highway and a couple of major roads all come together in the middle of the county. And on a map, it looks totally insignificant. But in real life, this is where your commute changes really fast. If you're coming up from Port Orchard toward Bremerton or Silverdale, you're going through Gorst every time. And some mornings this is completely fine. Other mornings and afternoons, it just stacks up and you're sitting there watching the clock. And of course, it's totally unpredictable. It's one of those things that's really hard to see until you've actually driven it a few times. But once you do, you can't unsee it. And it changes how you think about the whole map. So, depending on the time of day, Gorst alone can add 15 to 20 minutes to your drive. Either way. Some days, the Gorst traffic moves just fine. Other days, traffic stacks up where the highways merge. And when you're doing that drive every single day, work, school, errands, that time can add up pretty quickly. Okay, don't tell anybody I told you this, but our teenage daughter, every time she goes through Gorst, she comes out of the car, she's white-knuckled, she's sweaty, she's anxious. And those are on days where there's not even construction. So PTSD from Gorst is a real thing. You can always change a house, you can change the counters, but you can't give yourself that time back every day. There's also another layer developing on this right now that families should know about. So here's some PCS juice on this construction situation. Over the next couple of years, there are major fish culvert replacement projects happening across the county. Now, fish culverts are the tunnels that carry streams under the roadways. Washington State is replacing the old ones because they were blocking salmon from reaching their spawning grounds, and the state is required to fix them. This really impacts Gorst. For drivers, it means the Gorst area is going to be less predictable. You may hit lane shifts, backups, slower traffic than you expect, and also detours. I'll pop a link down in the description below so you can follow along with the timelines on the WASDOT website. So if you're deciding between living north or south of this area right now, this is something to factor in. No, it's not a deal breaker, but it will make a difference. And most families won't have heard about this until they've already signed a house offer. Let's look at what this could mean for you. So if someone lives in Port Orchard and works at Bangor, their commute is going to run through Gorst going up to the base. If someone lives in Silverdale, they're already on the north side of that intersection and they approach from a different direction. And for someone living in Paulsbo, they're coming down toward Bangor or Bremerton from the north. So two homes that look nearly identical online can create completely different daily routines once you're living here. We've seen families really love a house online and then completely rethink it once they see what a normal weekday commute looks like. Let's say you're looking at these two homes in a similar price range. One's a newer build in Port Orchard with more space. The other is smaller, a little closer to Silverdale. On Zillow, most families are drawn to the bigger home first, especially if it's lower in price. And sometimes in Port Orchard they are. But then we talk through a real weekday, leaving for base, getting back, school schedules, errands. One of the houses is south of Gorst and one is north. And that's usually the point where the decision changes. If you're trying to figure out where to live, start with the commute first, not the house. It's going to save you a lot from chasing the wrong homes. And if you're in that stage right now, trying to figure out where your family should land before you even get here, this is exactly the kind of conversation we have with families every week. Reach out, no pressure, no obligation, just someone who knows this map. Okay, let's look at what life actually looks like on each side of Gorst. North of Gorst includes Bremerton, Silverdale, Paulsbo, Kingston, Seebeck. Silverdale is the main shopping and services hub, and it's where St. Michael's Hospital is too. If you need it, it's probably going to be found in Silverdale. Paulsbo has a waterfront location and a really walkable downtown. Saturday mornings there feel like you're on vacation. It's a different world kind of down there, and it's also a great date night. Bremerton has ferry access to Seattle, and it has a mix of older character homes, vintage, a few newer neighborhoods closer to the shipyard. Kingston is farther north with another ferry option across the Sound, quieter pace and very strong community feel. For Bangor-based families, some of these areas north create a much more predictable commute. South of Gorst, you'll find Port Orchard and some surrounding communities, and then a little below that is Gig Harbor. So this area tends to feel more residential. You'll often find newer developments, more space between homes and the ones that are on acreage, and kind of a quieter pace of life. The price per square foot can be more favorable here too, which is why it catches a lot of families' attention on Zillow. Yes, that's except Gig Harbor. That's another story. But if you're going to commute north, live south, you're going to go through Gorst every day to reach the shipyard. And in 2026, that's worth weighing, honestly. North of Gorst tends to make daily logistics simpler, especially for Bangor. Less backtracking, fewer bottlenecks, more consistent drive times. South of Gorst can give you more space, newer construction sometimes, but you're trading for a commute that can be less predictable. So the real decision isn't just about the house. It's about whether you want to optimize for the home itself or for your lifestyle and how your day works. When we help military families sort this decision out, it really comes down to two things. First, which base you're reporting to. Bangor, Bremerton, and Keyport are all north of Gorst. So if you're living south of it, you're adding that corridor to your morning every single day. And second, what you want your daily life to feel like outside of work. How much space do you need? What does your weekend look like? How important is community walkability? Or being closer to shopping and schools? Those two things alone usually point pretty clearly to the right part of the county for you. And one thing that's worth adding, and this does matter more than people expect, is whether anyone else in your household is commuting. If your spouse is working in Seattle or taking the ferry regularly to the other side, that can flip the map a little. Ferry access from Bremerton, Manchester, or Bainbridge becomes a real factor, and that can change which neighborhoods make the most sense for your family. Once you know all of that, the decision gets a lot simpler than it looks on Zillow. So here's another PCS juice before you go. You know something now that most families don't figure out until they're already living it. Gorst is the hinge point of this entire county. Where you land relative to it shapes your mornings, your afternoons, and honestly, your mood for your entire tour here. So now that the map makes sense, the next question is, where specifically in Kitsap do you want to land? Because there are 3 neighborhoods in Bremerton that most families completely overlook, and once you see them, you're going to wonder why nobody talks about them. So I did. There's a video, it's right up here. Take a look, see if they are a good match for you. See you there.